buckets. Okay, so welcome to our first live stream full moon meditation. So for those of you who haven't met me before, my name is Ellie Latrobe. I teach yoga, I also teach meditation, and I kind of try to bring a little bit of a deeper esoterical relevance to a physical, spiritual, physical practice. And I have just recently started doing group meditations because often it's easier to meditate on a group, whether we're physically near to each other or whether we're connected via the internet. So why meditate? We meditate for lots of reasons. There's lots of different ways of meditating. And lots of the time, people use meditation as a form of relaxation and calming the nervous system. Mindfulness has sprung up recently. But the type of meditation I'm going to be teaching is a way of clearing our whole channel that is who we are, our human beingness, to be able to use our mind more effectively to create ideas that we can make happen in the world. And when we work together, whether we work together on the physical or mental planes, if you like, we can be more effective at bringing certain or new ideals down into existence. So we will be calming our emotional bodies, and we use meditations to clear emotions, which are energy in motion, and we want emotions to move. We don't want them to hold. We want to allow them to leave our body. Yeah, we don't want to hold them and then they cause physical tension. We also have thoughts in our head, thought patterns that go round and round. So through meditation practices, we can become more aware of the thought patterns that we're thinking. The chitter chatter, this like second thought brain of, have you done this? Haven't you done that? I need to do this. Or even as deep as, I'm not good enough. And we all have these other voices, whether they're of teachers or parents or siblings, telling us you have to do better, or you'll have to push yourself, or whatever other dialogues that you have going on in your brain. So we are using this type of meditation to become more aware of those thought beliefs, those thought structures, and hopefully again clearing them so that we can access the higher aspect of our mental planes, which is the abstract. So our brains allow us to think, and we should be thinking and questioning, but the abstract is more like an impression, a feeling. It's even higher than a feeling, and we draw that down into our concrete mind, and that's where we create an idea. And the idea then falls down, and we start communicating with others, we start feeling the passion of wanting to do that, and then we make it happen in the physical. So that's my basis philosophy of how I teach the meditations and where I'm coming from. We don't meet regularly in terms of every Thursday or every Friday, but I will be doing it often with new moon, often with a full moon, or with a major planetary conjunction. So our new moons are all about taking a seed concept of where the sun and the moon are, which, for example, we're now in Aquarius, so in a new moon, the sun and the moon are both in Aquarius. And now in the full moon, we all know what happens in the full moon. The women folk go crazy, don't they? The water bodies that's pulled from this big physical dense mass that's going around the earth is pulling water bodies. So whether it's the ocean or whether it's the water within our bodies, and often people go a bit crazy, howling at the moon, and there is a direct correlation because emotions are linked to hormones, and hormones are water based and they flow. And we see a lot of what in yoga psychology we call the shadow side, the shadow self. So right now, the moon It's in the opposite sign to what the sun is. The sun is in Aquarius, the moon is in Leo, but the most important aspect is the polarity between the two. It's the sun's reflection on the moon that's then coming back to the earth. So Aquarius is the primary. Sunlight carries the major learning from the constellation that the sun is in. Bing, bing, and it comes back onto the earth. So Aquarius is all about group work, group service. So it invites us at this time to ask ourselves, what is our higher service? What is our greater purpose? But often the shadow side of Aquarius can get lost in the group. You might know people who just join a group, whether it's a political organization or a religious one, or even one in an organization, and they kind of get lost in it. They'll become whatever that organization wants them to become, or whatever that religious structure tells them to do, without questioning. And this is where the Leo aspect comes in. This is why Aquarius and Leo and this polarity between the two is important at this time. Who are you all as individuals? What is your greater purpose? What are your greater gifts? Because it's those gifts that when we bring them to the table, and that's where we're most effective. Not when we just accept what the boss says, or what the head of the religious structure or the political structure says. One's thinking for themselves and bringing their own rational, scientific almost, thought to it. So every statement that comes into your brain, is this true, right? And so in this time in Aquarius, we are 2 months before we're in what I call the light phase of the year. You know, between spring equinox and autumn equinox, that's when we have the most sun, right? That's when we're in our outer, it's fun, it's more fun, there's more daylight. We can do more stuff outside, right? It's more enjoyable. In the winter, sorry, this is a little bit biased because I'm definitely an external type of person. But in the winter, we have to go inwards. And we're still in that uncomfortability. You know, when you look inside and you start to see some things some structures, thought patterns, belief systems that aren't suiting you, it is uncomfortable. And we need to transform them. And that work takes some effort. So meditation is a good place to start. To clear ourselves of those things that are pulling us and pushing us and sharpening our mind. You know, meditation for me is not fluffy kittens. It's not soft floaty clouds. It's not like float away with the clouds and leave our body. It's about going up, connecting to all that we are and bringing all of that potential down onto earth. Okay, so for those of you on the live stream, we are in a massive shed and there's a massive storm. So this is going to be an interesting experiment of technology. So for our meditation, I invite you to find a comfortable seated position. Now, I'm in kneeling position because I don't have any issues with my knees. If you have a chair, you want to sit on a chair, do. If you want to have your legs out straight or cross-legged. If you want to even use the wall, if you find sitting up straight a little bit hard, and make yourself comfortable. You can kind of feel the power of nature, right? And I'm going to shout at you for this meditation. This is going to be an interesting type of shouty meditation, but we'll see how we go. I roar, yeah? I'm roaring to the group. Okay, so once you find your comfortable seated position, maybe roll your shoulders a couple of times. Right now, you're going to sharpen that mind. Aquarius is air sign, it's mental. And you are going to work on that nose. See if you can even up the breath. Inhale, equaling up with the exhale. With every exhale, letting go of anything that's taking you away from your center. And with every inhale, bringing in what you need. Whether you're feeling like you need more energy, whether you're feeling like you need more mental sharpness, whether you need healing on some aspect of your physical or emotional or mental well-being. And then exhaling a little more deeply, squeeze your belly, let go of whatever you're holding on to and take a deep breath in. Exhale through your mouth and just let that stress and that tension go. With your next exhale, see if you can allow yourself to grow some roots down beneath you. And with every inhale, drawing up what you need. Exhale, grounding down. And inhale, drawing up. This rain kind of puts it all in perspective. With every exhale, see if you can ground yourself down into the ground beneath you a little deeper. Feeling yourself just one small part of a greater whole. Inhale, draw in what you need. And exhale, let that rain wash it all away. What is stopping you from living your greatest purpose, from sharing your greatest gift? And let it be washed away into the ground. Inhale, rising up a little taller, seeing if you can open up through the crown of your head, creating branches. So we're trying to root down with the exhale, and inhale, rise up through the crown. Opening up to this greatest potential. This whitest light down into the ground beneath you. Growing up branches through the crown of your head and rooting down through the floor beneath you. And this is your vertical connection through the two polarities of our existence, through the physical that is there in the earth, in the ground, and up to our spiritual, that which is light. See if we can bring our awareness to the highest, brightest place above us. And from that place, bring your awareness back to your heart. This is your midpoint between the two extremes. This is what we call our soul. This is the seat of our soul. This is what takes the impulse and gives it some form of quality, some form of coloration, some form of instruction, guidance. And breathing into your heart with the quality of love. And this is the center point of your symbolic cross. And from your heart, connecting to the other hearts of the people doing this meditation right now, the outward horizontal line that connects you with all individuals in this world. Breathing into your heart and then outwards to all those other individuals in your life, to your closest partnerships, to your family, to your society, to your nation, and to the world with all those other human beings that we share the earth with. And it's a practice, so don't worry if you can't visualize that. As we get older, we lose our capacity for imagination, and it's so important to keep practicing. Feeling that quality of love from your heart to all those other hearts in your life, in this room, in your society, in the nation that you live in, and to the world with all the human beings in it. Your heart center. Allow your heart to swell, to grow, inviting the capacity for you to love, for you to magnetically attract the people that you need to work with, for you to live your purpose, to be attracted to you. This is what we call polarization. We're aiming to swell our heart, to open our heart, to allow love to flow in and out. And so often as we grow older, we close our hearts. And then from our hearts, our individual hearts, bring your awareness to your throat. This is our point of expression. This is where we speak from. But it represents how we express our creativity, our gifts, our purpose. And feeling that love and that passion for those things that you love to do and that way that you want to live, to rise up to your throat. What are the things you need to say? And who do you need to say them to? Harmlessly, but truthfully. What are the things you need to say in the groups you work in the everyday? Your family is a group. Your place of work is a group. Your society is a group. And so on. What are the things you need to stand up for, to bring that passion, that fire, and rise it up into expression, love-filled expression, harmlessly, but truthfully? And from the heart, rising up through the throat and up to the third eye, the seat of intuition. This is where the soul communicates with you. Your higher self communicates with you. That place within you that always knows the right foot to step forwards. And aspiring upwards to receive. Often we just do. We don't check in with ourselves. With that horizontal and that vertical connection, we open up through our third eye, up through our crown to receive the seeds of inspiration this morning. All of that light that is being reflected this morning for this full moon, allow those seeds of knowingness to percolate down in through your abstract mind to your concrete mind. And often we don't know initially what that means, but we're just aspiring and open, with open reception. We're not closing our faculty of, no, I know better. That's a Leo lower shadow. I am all powerful, I know the best. And instead we transform and we transform that expression into, I want to know. I aspire to know more. The more I know, the less I realize I know. And allowing these seeds of knowingness to fall into your crown of your head and down into your head center. Your center of creative intelligence. Because all of us are magicians. All of us are able to create something out of nothing. But how we create is so important. And as this rain falls, you can almost feel like the rain is falling down with ideas of new ideals. And in our societies, in our political systems, in our countries, we're all at a point of change. So all these new systems, ideals, and ideas that come from them are percolating down through all the individuals of humanity. Taking a big breath in through our nose and just allowing that precipitation to fall down into your heart in full reception. Our paths can change in the blink of an eye. External events will always rock us. But if we keep working at keeping this channel clear, allowing emotions to flow, keeping check on our thoughts, and always opening up to the unknown, we can traverse the waves. We can apply will and pave a path forwards for our own individual lives, for our partnerships, for our societies. Visualizing one of those seeds that has percolated into your mind right now, into your heart, and visualize that seed as growing in a newly managed piece of soil. Allow it to be weed-free and clear, clear of all past patterns. Journey to growing through the light stage of the year that is ahead of us. And in your mind's eye, see all the other hearts of the groups that you work in and the groups that you will work in. And all of those hearts too have seeds. And maybe those hearts are unaware of the seeds that are growing in them right now. But in your creative imagination, feel that magnetic attraction and connection to those other hearts, those other seeds that are growing in other individuals around the world. What is your highest service? Which area are you meant to be working in right now? Are you working there? Do you need to change things? What's in your way? What's blocking that seed from growing? And set your intention right now to work on those things that are blocking that full germination of that seed. What's blocking that connection with your real group, your true group, your soul group? We all have a soul group of work here in this lifetime. Feel that connection to all those other people you work with on the physical level, and all those individuals that you work with on an etheric level. The group work of bringing a new ideal out and into existence. And with that question, what is your service? Who is your group? Connect back up and down your vertical channel, upwards to the highest point of light in your creative imagination, and deep down into the roots beneath you, into your densest expression. Back into your heart and outwards through your horizontal to all those other people you work with in group fashion. And just allow something to flow. Taking 3 big breaths into the heart, and allow that breath to expand through your whole being, clearing all that needs to be cleared, knowing all that needs to be known, feeling all that needs to be felt, for you to be all that you have to be. And whatever you're feeling, whatever you're knowing, bring it into your center. Feel like you're becoming an egg, or a golden egg, if you like. Sealing up any places in your golden egg which may be leaking any of your energy. Any groups that you're working in or individual relationships that are taking energy away from you, and sealing up those holes, tearing out, breaking down those chains or those drains And breathing through that whole golden egg, through that whole of who you are, filling yourself up with energy and vibrance this morning. Bringing yourself strength to be vulnerable, the strength to use your strength to address the shadows, to break down the thought patterns, to break down the fixed belief systems that create emotional holding within your body. And as you fill your egg up, your body up, your being up with vibrance, with life, with love, with light, fuel it with your greatest passion. Why are you in this body right now? What are you working for? What are you living for? And coming back to your even breath, inhaling evenly to your exhale. So those of you who work with the visualization, down the spine and up the spine with the inhale, down the spine with the exhale. Feeling the polarities from the crown to your sits bones, to the middle principle of your heart. And we're going to sound Om to seal our practice. You can just listen if you're new to meditation. We're sealing up the practice like we seal that egg. We're keeping everything in. We're igniting through our head center of light, our heart center of love, and our core center of will, our physical body, which does, which acts, which makes, which creates physically. Taking an inhale and exhale. And inhale for Om. Take a big inhale, hold the breath a moment, and exhale through the mouth. Turn your palms down on your legs and just feel the connection of your palms on your physical legs, your body, your vehicle, how amazing it is. Give it a little bit of gratitude and thanks. And coming to your senses, your 5 physical senses, maybe slightly opening your eyes and just rubbing your hands, warming the palms. I'm going to balm the eyes with the palms. Take a big inhale, hold, and exhale. And give your temples a little massage. Massaging your brow center and your brain. And maybe just moving your fingers through your scalp. Give yourself a little scalp massage. And then see how your head feels. Sweep away any of sleep from the night. And take any movement that you need to get back into your body. So namaste, thank you for joining me. I will post on the Facebook and Instagram page that I now have of the next meditation group. And we'll see you either in person or in the ether. Namaste.